Hey!
Rolling Stones and Get Off My Cloud from 1965 and got, of course, to #1.
And sadly, that's it for this week. Thank you very, very much indeed for listening. I hope you have a really great weekend. And I'm looking forward already to being back with you on, Friday at 7 o'clock for the Golden Hour and, of course, Sounds of the 60s. My thanks to studio manager John Hemingway and producers Richard Power and Phil the Collector Swirl. Sound of the 60s has been a 7 digital production for BBC Radio 2. Let's finish with this one from the Small Faces.
Wouldn't it be nice to get on with me neighbours? But they make it very clear they've got no room for raiders. They stop me from grooving, they bang on the wall. They're doing me fasting, it's no good at all. Lazy Sunday afternoon, I've got no mind to worry. I close my eyes and drift away. Here we all are, sitting in a rainbow. Oh, blimey, hello, Mrs. Jones. How's your bird lumbago? Smash that crap, Paul. I'll sing you a song with no words and no tune. So sing in your party while you fuss out the moon. Oh, yes. Lazy Sunday afternoon. I've got no mind to worry. Close my eyes and drift away. There's no one to hear me, there's nothing to say, and no one can stop me from feeling this way. Yeah. Lazy Sunday afternoon, I've got no mind to worry. Close my eyes and drift away.
There you have it, the Small Faces there and Lazy Sunday. If you missed any of the show, it will be available very shortly on the BBC Sounds app. And available on BBC Radio 2 in a moment. It's going to be Dermot O'Leary. From me, Tony Blackman, I hope you have a really wonderful weekend. Back on Friday, the Golden Hour, and of course, Sounds of the 60s next Saturday. Look after yourselves, won't you? This is Radio 2 on BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker, and on 88 to 91 FM. Bye-bye.
BBC News at 8 o'clock on Saturday, the 7th of December. Good morning, this is Harvey Cook. Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn have clashed on a range of issues in the final head-to-head debate before next week's general election. Elon Musk has been cleared of defaming a British cave explorer he'd called a pedo guy on Twitter. And the UK's longest-running rail franchise prepares to run its final service this evening. Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn have taken part in a head-to-head debate for the last time before voters go to the polls next week. Both leaders focused on their core messages, Mr Johnson attacking the Labour leader over Brexit, while Mr Corbyn promised better funding for the NHS. The internet message forum Reddit has said it believes a leak of sensitive UK-US trade documents seized on by Labour during the election is linked to a Russian campaign to influence voters. The dossier has been used by Jeremy Corbyn to claim the NHS would be on the table during US trade talks, something denied by the Conservatives. Labour says the release of the documents was in the public interest and their authenticity has not been questioned. Here's our digital elections reporter, Joe Tidy.
When Jeremy Corbyn unveiled the classified material, it sparked a fierce debate about the future of the NHS. Quietly, it also prompted cybersecurity researchers to begin investigating where the leak had come from. It didn't take long for fingers to be pointed at Russia. The tactics and methods seemed to mirror those seen in previous cases. And now Reddit, the website where the documents first surfaced, has banned a discussion page and 61 separate accounts. The site confirmed the techniques used to spread the dossier followed those seen on Facebook by a group nicknamed Secondary Infection.
A jury in California has cleared Elon Musk of defaming a British caver who he called pedo guy in a tweet. Vernon Unsworth had been seeking almost £150 million in damages, arguing the Tesla founder had damaged his reputation. The tech entrepreneur said his faith in humanity had been restored by the judgment, but Mr. Unsworth's lawyer, Lynn Wood, said it was a troubling verdict.
This verdict sends a signal, and one signal only, that you can make any accusation you want to, as vile as it may be, as damaging as it may be, as untrue as it may be, and somebody can get away with it.
A man's been charged with murder following a stabbing in East London on Thursday afternoon. 26-year-old Kieran Brown from Hackney has also been charged with possession of a knife and will appear at Thames Magistrates Court later today. 3 other people who were arrested have been released on bail. Scientists are warning that climate change and pollution are driving the oxygen from our oceans, threatening many species of fish, including tuna, marlin, and some sharks. Around 700 ocean sites are now suffering from low oxygen, compared with just 45 in the 1960s. The findings were presented at the UN climate talks in Madrid, from where our environment correspondent Matt McGrath reports.
The threat from fertiliser runoff from farms has long been known to impact the levels of oxygen in the waters, and still remains the primary factor, especially closer to coasts. But this study highlights the growing threat from climate change. As the world warms, around 90% of the excess heat goes into the oceans. Warmer waters hold less oxygen. In tropical regions, the loss has ranged up to 40% of the dissolved gas in some locations. The loss of oxygen tends to favour species like jellyfish, but bigger fish like tuna, who need more energy, have to move to shallower waters where oxygen is more plentiful, making them more vulnerable to overfishing.
A fire burning to the north of Sydney has become so bad that officials are warning it can't be extinguished, at least for now. People in the area are being told they should leave immediately if they aren't able to defend their property from the approaching flames. 4 major areas along the coast of New South Wales are being affected by the so-called mega blaze. Britain's longest-running rail franchise comes to an end today, with Virgin Trains running its final services on the West Coast Main Line. It's being replaced by Avanti West Coast. The Virgin founder, Sir Richard Branson, features in an ad alongside the retro TV character Mr. Blobby, produced to say goodbye to passengers.
All aboard your non-stop Virgin train from 1997 to 2019. This will be our final journey.
What did you say?
I said thank you for using Virgin Trains.
And the weather: rain will push into Scotland during the day as conditions become windier. It should remain dry in most other areas, with some sunny spells before the wind and rain spreads to the rest of the UK tonight. Temperatures should reach 11 Celsius in London, Cardiff and Belfast, and 10 in Edinburgh. That's the BBC News, exactly 8:05.
Thank you, Huff.
Now, Saturday Breakfast with Dermot O'Leary.
88 to 91 FM, BBC Radio 2.
Good morning. Hope we're all good. Kick it off.